Well, welcome back. You've reached the halfway point in your journey with Circle of Vitality. And one of the things that I know that have been challenged with in my journey to wholeness and health is motivation. You know, what motivates you? Are you motivated to keep eating healthy and exercising and doing what you know to do because you want to do it for you or for someone else? I found that for many years in my life, I was doing things to better myself, but not for me. I was doing it because I wanted to bless other people or to help other people. And when I really started focusing on me and made it all about me, I was okay with that. And that's when my progress started coming. I think so many times people feel guilty when they take time for themselves, when they do things just for them, especially women. We're so used to being caregivers and taking care of everyone around us that we just don't want to take time for ourselves. So I went through a season of life when I changed my lifestyle to eat plant-based foods where it was all about me. And it really was a very good thing, because the more it was about me, the healthier I got, the stronger I got, the more others were blessed, because I was at a place that I could minister to them and I could share what I knew with them. And I was just at a place where it was better for everyone. So I encourage you to look at why you're motivated, what motivates you, and make sure that you're doing it for you. Make sure that you are being motivated to be the best you can be, because you deserve it. So today we're going to make creamy tomato soup. And again, we've talked about how cashews can be substituted for dairy, and they make it creamy, much like milk or sour cream. And I'm just going to put some tomatoes in here. It takes 4 cups of tomatoes. With the Vitamix, we don't have to cut them small. I'm just going to quarter them. And if you wanted it to be a little bit thicker, you could take your spoon and scoop out all of the seeds. And it's not going to be as watery, but I find it works out just fine. All right. Then I'm going to add some cashews. We're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of cashews. And now the cashews are going to make it really creamy. It's going to make it delightful. Basil, about 1/4 of a cup of basil. I'm going to save a little bit out for the garnish. And the fresh basil is amazing. You can use regular basil. It's not going to have that fresh taste to it, the dried basil. We're going to add 1 date. This is a medjool date. Again, the pit's been removed. We're going to drop that in. That just kind of cuts the acid of the tomatoes. And then I'm putting 2 tablespoons of flaxseed oil. Now again, normally I don't use a lot of oil, but flaxseed is a great oil to use. It's full of omega-3s and 6s. It's the right combination that we need to fight inflammation. And it is, it's good for the heart. So we're going to drop that in. We're going to put about a teaspoon of garlic powder. A little bit of sea salt, just about a teaspoon. That looks really pretty in there, doesn't it? Can you see all the layers? You know, we're told to eat the rainbow. We need to eat as many colors as we can in our food. And we get more nutrients that way and more balance. Okay, and then celery. Just going to take 1/4 of a cup, about 1 stalk. And you don't have to dice it because I'm putting it in the blender, so I just cut it in chunks. Let's see what else we need here. All right, you can add water to it if you need to thin it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on first and blend it, and then I'll add water if I need it. With the oil, one of the reasons I use oil when I do tomatoes is because it helps emulsify it and keeps it together so that the tomatoes don't separate. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn this on. One of the reasons I pull the tamper up when I use the Vitamix is that it will start to form a vortex and it'll pull it down, and that's when it gets really smooth. You see me doing this because I can tell if it's chunky on there, it's not gone long enough. So when it's smooth, which that's fairly smooth, it tells me that it could be close to being done. Oh, that's perfect just the way it is. So we're going to pour some in here. Now you can make it go a little bit longer if it starts to separate. And this, I like this consistency. If you want it thinner, add a little bit of pure water. So I like that creaminess, but you can see the color, how it looks like there's cream added to this. If you want it to be a little chunkier, you can add in some diced tomatoes in it. Just put them in right at the end and pulse it, or you can just add it right into the top as a garnish. You could put onion in this if you wanted. Green onion, yellow onion. And I've just taken some basil and I'm just going to put a little bit on top of it, just as a garnish. And again, if you don't like cold soup, let it go for a couple of minutes and it will start to heat in here. Or if you want to make it and put it on your stovetop till it's warm, when you put your finger in and you touch it and it's warm, then it's going to be ready to eat and you're not going to lose a lot of the nutrients. If you don't like cold soup, you can put it on your stovetop and heat it until it's, you put your finger in and it's warm to the touch, and it's going to be a nice temperature to eat, but you're not going to lose the enzymes and the minerals and vitamins. So it's a better choice if you're wanting warm soup. All right. Next, we're going to make a avocado mango salad. Avocados are in season right now. It's good to eat fruits and vegetables when they're in season. That's when they're ripest. I know we can get fruit and veggies year round, but they're not always the best nutrients. So we're going to use mangoes and avocados. The first thing I'm going to do is cut my avocado and get it sitting in some lime juice. And again, when I open an avocado, I hold it by my thumb and I just rotate it around and use the thumb as a guide. Once it's all the way around, we open it up, pop it, and there we have it. Now, because this is going in a salad, I'm going to dice it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to make little cubes so that when I scoop it out, it's already going to be cubed and I don't have to make a mess on my cutting board. There we go. And I like to just put the lemon or lime juice, whatever I'm using when I make avocado salads, which you can make a lot of different salads out of these. I like to put it in here just to help it keep from turning brown. So we're going to use lime juice in this recipe. Now all of my juices are fresh squeezed. I have a electric citrus juicer, and I found it just works so much better. In the mornings, I jumpstart my system by drinking a cup of warm lemon water. And I will use fresh squeezed juice. There was one day I didn't have any, but I had a little container of juice from an event that I had done when I had to use a store-bought processed lemon juice. And I was amazed that I had heartburn. Lemons are they're an acid fruit, but in your body they become alkaline. And so they're very healthy. It's one of the most alkalizing fruits or vegetables we could eat. But that processed lemon juice gave me heartburn, which told me that it was acidic. And so just beware that when you're using things, the nutrient level is going to change if you're not using fresh squeezed. Okay, so that was a nice size avocado. And I'm just going to mix the lemon juice around in it so it doesn't turn brown. These are 2 mangoes. They call this a red mango, and this is a champagne mango. One of the things to learn to cut a mango is it's very interesting, because if you don't know, it can be a challenge to get that mango out of there. It has a flat seed. It runs all the way through, and it's about this thick, but it's the whole width of the fruit. So when we cut a mango, you're going to cut down either side of that seed. You're just going to kind of guesstimate. So either side of the center. That, I hit it, so I went around it a little bit. So there we have 2 sides. And again, we're going to score it like we did the avocado. Be careful not to go through your hand, go through the mango and get your hand. And then we have mango. I think that's really pretty. But you can cut these off with a knife, or you can just take your spoon and scoop it like an avocado. I think I'm going to put it in this bowl. And mangoes you want to be firm to the touch. You want to be able to, they'll be a little soft, a little squishy, but you don't want them to be mushy. Now these I already cut ahead of time. There are differences in the mangoes, and I can't really tell you which ones are which, but some are fibrous. The champagne mangoes I think are my favorite, because the flesh is just really tender. And some of them, they're real fibrous, so they're hard to even cut through because of the fiber particles in it. And the fresher the mango, the easier it's going to be to eat. Now there are secrets to getting this off the pit. There's still a lot of mango on here, so we're going to slide all the way around. Just take that off. We're just going to continue to cut around. And get as much of the fruit off as you can. Now, if you're like me, I hate to waste anything. There's still a lot of good mango on here, but it's going to be hard to cut. So I like to stand over the sink when I'm done with my pits, and I just kind of gnaw on them a little bit, get all the flesh off. That's just my secret. So we're going to do this again. Scoop it out. Again, you could scoop the whole thing out, lay it on your cutting board and cut it. For me, I just think it's easier. It's less messy. You don't have as much to clean up, and you don't waste anything because it's all there. It's not on your cutting board. Okay, so we have 2 mangoes, 1 avocado. We're going to put in a half a cucumber. And I'm going to peel this only because I like the way it tastes better. If you're using organic cucumbers, you don't need to peel them. Sometimes I leave the peel on, sometimes I don't. This is a Titan, Titan peeler. It's my favorite all-time peeler. You can get them from Bed Bath & Beyond. Some grocery stores carry them, or Amazon. They come in a 2-pack with a julienner. So you can make little thin strips. Now, because I don't want this salad to be watered down, I'm going to cut these in half and scoop out the seeds. Some salads we leave them in, but this, I think it would water it down too much. So I'm going to take a spoon and just scoop out the seeds. Just splattered everywhere. It says a half a cucumber. We'll see. We might end up putting the whole cucumber. This one just looks kind of small. And again, it's your personal taste. You know, like I say, there's a set recipe that I'm giving you, but do what works for you. I seldom follow recipes. I have to have recipes for my ebook and when I do classes, but I personally don't use recipes to prepare food. I look at the ingredients and then I just put in what works for me. I think I am going to go ahead and add another one, the other half. By the time you get the seeds out, sometimes there's not a lot left to it. Now this is a salad that you're not going to want to make a bunch of because the avocados can turn brown after it sits and it will get a little bit mushy. But it'll last for a couple of days. Remember when you're chopping, keep your point of your knife down and rock it. It's easier on your hand. You cut quicker. And you can feel like a professional. All right, now we're going to put in some cilantro that's been chopped. A couple tablespoons of cilantro. And then the avocado. We're just going to mix this up. Again, this is a real pretty salad with the contrast of colors with the green and the mango. Now sometimes I've even put basil instead of the cilantro and it gives it an amazing flavor. And we're going to do just maybe a half a teaspoon of salt. And work that in. This is great on a bed of lettuce or on a bed of cabbage. I'm going to go ahead and taste it. That's very good. I'm going to add just a little more lime. The mango is so sweet, it kind of offsets. So I put about maybe just another half a tablespoon of lime in. But this is so refreshing. Again, if you don't like the cilantro, you can put basil. Even a little bit of mint. Just a couple leaves of mint that are chopped finely would be great in this. So you can serve it on your lettuce bed or a bed of cabbage, or you can just eat it. I like to shred lettuce, just cut lettuce in little strips and put that underneath it and serve it. You can put some sprouts on it, some nuts if you wanted, but for me this works very well. So here's your other salad. Again, this is a great one to take to potlucks or get-togethers, picnics, because everyone likes avocados. Most people like avocados and mangoes, and it's just a very refreshing salad. So again, I want to encourage you to do what you can for you and allow yourself to be motivated to make it all about yourself right now while you're on this journey, and continue to make better choices today so tomorrow can be your best, so you can live in optimum health.